Okay, what's going on, LBHT crew B? What is going on?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Much, Mu- much going on for day one of Ravens training camp, and guys, and we're gonna cover some Panthers training camp, but we're gonna cover the elephant in the room, Jonathan Washington Jr. What's going on? Yes,
What's up, Jonathan?
LBHT. Yeah, God's son is here. Okay, what's going on, family? Appreciate you coming through. All right. Yes. Oh, living legend. Okay. He said, give it up for sexual chocolate. That's what I'm talking about. But look,
Just at the top here, I do want to say thank you and send a shout out to Jerome, who just signed up as our new patron.
appreciate you, Jerome. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Man, me and B were here ready to talk just straight Ravens Panthers training camp. There's actually a little bit to cover on both sides, and we've been talking about that all week. We were going to wait for the weekend stream this past weekend, and you said, you know what, let's do it on Wednesday. There's going to be a lot to talk about. And
So
then
just Aloe.
what's going on? Yes. Oh, we're gonna talk about it. I don't know how many of you guys saw the video that we put out on the NFL vaccine rules. There was some mixed feelings about that, and there's some strong emotions on both sides. So we're gonna kind of touch on that. We're gonna talk about obviously Lamar catching COVID along with Gus. So yeah, that's gonna be the show. I feel like that's gonna take up a whole bunch of time on the show. But if we got time, we're also gonna talk about the Ron Rivera story and some guy named TJ Ward who used to play football has some comments about him. Derek Weatherly, what's going on? Appreciate you coming
What's up,
through.
Derek?
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get into it. All right, we know what you guys are here for, but first, we got a Black History fact for you. All right, B is going to give you that Black History fact.
Okay, and tonight, we have a pretty significant moment in U.S. history. On July 28th, 1868, the 14th Amendment was officially passed or ratified. And it was sent out in a proclamation from the then Secretary of State, William Seward, and he certified without reservation that the 14th Amendment was a part of the United States Constitution. The 14th Amendment, it guaranteed citizenship or granted citizenship to all those born and naturalized in the U.S., and that included, obviously, formerly enslaved people. So it made all Black people officially U.S. citizens. It also banned payments to former slavers for, loss of, quote, property, meaning the slaves that they were not able to, work and earn income off of anymore.
So,
also,
for those of you that don't know what that means, the slave owners got reparations.
No. Banned payments. They did not.
Payments.
They did not. Banned payments to former slavers and banned the payment of any debt owed by the former Confederacy, which was no more. It also dealt with, allowing traitors into Congress and Senate. There were a couple other things, but the main thing is the granting citizenship as well as extending the First Amendment rights granted, in the First Amendment, obviously, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, things like that, to the state level as well as the federal level. Because the First Amendment only grants that from the federal level. Later on, the 14th Amendment was featured in several landmark Supreme Court cases. First off, you had Plessy versus Ferguson, which said that, separate but equal did not violate the 14th Amendment. That was later overturned in the early 50s with Brown versus Board of Education. But in addition to that, it was featured in cases that overturned bans on interracial marriage and same-sex marriage. And more relevant to what we're going to talk about tonight, it was also featured in Roe v. Wade, which granted women the right to choose. Because it said that the privacy rights granted by the 14th Amendment extended to medical procedures, which is something that has been kind of going around in the sports world, with the very, very public discourse over Naomi Osaka and Simone Biles' mental health, and, more focused on the NFL, what's going on with the vaccination protocols.
Yep. All right, that's a lot to cover there. Just Allo said, yeah, actually, Lincoln did give limited reparations to former slaveholders because America. That is, yeah, that's true.
Yes, but we're talking about the 14th Amendment, though.
Yes, yeah. I don't want to conflict the two. All right, you guys ready to get into it? There was day one of training camp today. Hold on, let me switch the banner here. You guys know what we're here for. All right, day one of training camp, and we were without one Lamar Jackson because while people were anticipating him coming out, he was a little late. He was getting a little later. They said, okay, Lamar hasn't come out yet. He's going. I know what's going on. He's just making the crowd wait a little bit, and then news came out that he had a COVID-related issue.
Right.
A COVID-related issue.
They were hoping and praying so hard this morning.
Yeah.
That it wasn't exactly what it was.
Yeah, they had to make sure it wasn't a false positive,
Yes.
and they had to figure out how they're gonna go about talking about it because, look, Gus Edwards just tested positive a couple of days ago. He's out for 10 days. He's unvaccinated. Okay, and they also said that 90% of the team was vaccinated.
Right.
And that 10%, man, so we obviously know Gus is in that 10%, and now we know Lamar Jackson's in that 10%.
I mean, I don't think we know that for certain at this point.
We know.
Oh, did they?
Before I came online, from The Athletic, Jeff Rabick from The Athletic wrote in his article that his sources are saying that he isn't vaccinated. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, I kind of assumed that, but I didn't want to say for certain.
We talked about that. Yeah, we kind of assumed too that if you're getting tested every day, it's because you're not vaccinated, right? They did say that. They said he was negative up until yesterday, and it's unfortunate because it's one of those things. I don't think he was going anywhere, doing anything irresponsible necessarily. But when you don't get vaccinated, you're at a higher risk, and that's me and B's whole point. If you're worried about what's going into your body, right? My thing is, why aren't you worried about all the other things that you're putting in your body just to make sure you can go out there and play? You're not worried about shooting up with painkillers. You're not worried about, whatever, performance enhancers or, creatine or whatever. You're not worried about just going out there risking more injury to your body that you already sustained because you want to get out there and play. You're willing to do anything to get out there and play. So why won't you take that shot? Because that's an automatic 10 days. It's an automatic 10 days as opposed to 1 or 2 days. And that's the potential to miss 2 games. So yeah, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah, and as just Alho asked here, why aren't you worried about COVID going into your body? That's a great question.
Facts.
My thing with the vaccine is, and a lot of people keep saying, oh, it's his personal choice. We got people in the comments right now saying it's his personal choice. It's on him. And yeah, that's true. It is your personal choice whether you want to get it or not. Nobody is being forced to get any injections. That's not happening. Right. But my question is, and I haven't seen anybody answer this, is why do you think, or people who are unvaccinated, why do they think that they have the right to come into a workplace and endanger everyone else? If it's your personal choice and you don't want to do the things that are necessary to keep yourself and others safe, why do you still think that you have the right to go into a workplace and expose other people to greater risk? Stay home.
Exactly. Oh God, Simply A is 10 is in the house. What's going on, man?
What's up, Alex?
Look. Alex has the ear of Lamar Jackson. I saw Lamar retweeting him the other day. Okay, you need to talk to Lamar, let him know, man. Go ahead and get that shot, man. It ain't gonna hurt you. Get that shot. You're the leader of the team, right? Like you're the leader of this team. You're lucky it's in training camp, at the beginning of training camp, and not at the beginning of the season or mid-season or at the end of the season. We're trying to make a playoff push. I mean, automatic 10 games, that could be 2 games, or 10 days, not games, 10 days. That could be 2 games, depending on when you get sick. So, man, can't play around with that, man. Like, I understand, even if you get the shot, you could still get it, but it lowers, right? And it lowers the amount of time that you have to sit out.
And the point is that a vaccine, it's a collective effort.
Yes.
Everyone gets it, and then everyone is safer. Everyone is more protected. Before we keep going, I want to give a shout out here to our guy Garnet and wish him a speedy recovery. And I believe I saw on Twitter that it's also your birthday. So happy birthday, Garnet.
Snap. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I failed to mention too, while Alex is in here, check out the Purple Rain podcast. They do it. They were doing it Monday and Thursday. I think they're doing it on Thursdays now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alex. But here in Sutton, they do an awesome job. They cover everything Ravens. So check them out. Of course, you guys know Alex does the highlights. So,
right.
Okay, where we at?
And I'm not sure if you would mention. Yeah, what's up, Tanja? I'm not sure if you mentioned our guy Davon is in the house as well.
Okay, yes, the highlight goat. That's Alex right there. The highlight goat. Yes, sir.
So the thing. Oh, and Alex is still here.
Okay. Back to Mondays.
Okay. Great.
Nice.
Good. So absolutely. Everybody in here, go and check out the Purple Rain podcast, Rain Gang.
That's right.
But so back to the Ravens. I mean, we don't know. Obviously, we don't know where Lamar got it because immediately everybody was looking at Gus Edwards, right? Because they were like, Lamar had tested negative every day leading up to today. And it just happened to be the day after that Gus got there and Gus was unvaccinated. You don't know for certain that he got it from Gus. But I'm just going to say, was it worth it? was it worth it to give him an extension and bring him back? No, and I'm joking. Obviously we hope both of them, have very mild cases and make fast recoveries and they're back out on the field.
And I hope it's a lesson for those two, man. I hope the two of them walk away from this and say, you know what, we need to go ahead and get that vaccine. We can't risk this during the season. I hope they look at this and say, all right, let's go ahead and get that shot. Because look, for Lamar's case, Lamar is a star of this team. Like, we go as he goes. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, whether he gets it or not, I mean, we just got to kind of live with it. But Gus, John Harbaugh at his press conference tried to play it down a little bit. He said, look, we just got, we treat it like injuries. Injuries happen, right? But same thing with injuries. They just happen depending on who they are. Yeah. If it's somebody that is expendable, then, hey, man, you're missing too much time. We got to go with the next man up.
And guess what? If you're somebody who's expendable, lessons just happen too. Right. I mean, we remember a few years ago, I forget the player's name now, but in training camp with the Rams, somebody snuck a girl into his room and he was immediately cut.
Jeff Fisher.
And they said that, if it was Todd Gurley, obviously he wouldn't have been cut, but you're not Todd Gurley. So you don't get to do the things that Todd Gurley can do. You don't get to get away with the things that Todd Gurley gets away with. And it's the same thing here.
And not to say Gus will get cut, but we talked about it. In these 10 days, somebody else could step up. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know we're not high on Justice Hill, but Justice Hill started to come on a little bit at the end of last season. If he came in this season and decided that, hey, I want this job, or if there's anything to the rumors of Todd Gurley, what's going on? Keeping it real. Appreciate you coming through. If there's any rumors to Todd, to Todd Gurley, signing with the Ravens or wanting to sign with the Ravens, guess what? Gus Edwards, he may not get cut, but he lost his job.
Right.
Because Todd Gurley's a better running back.
Yeah. And like you said, you've got Justice Hill there. You've got, I don't know how he actually pronounces this, but Tyson Williams, because he's got the apostrophe right in the middle. I'm not sure if that changes the pronunciation at all. Yeah. But he was on the practice squad last year. A lot of people think he has some talent. They had some potential, as it were. Gus is not the kind of a player or a talent who can afford to just sit out.
Yeah. And Daylon makes a point. Justice is a lock anyway, and Harbs loves him. He's definitely going to get those snaps. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Harbs loves special teams, and he turned it up on special teams. He turned it up, right? And that always translates into more snaps on the field. So if he continues with that same energy that he finished the season with last year, that could spell trouble for Gus.
This is rude, okay? We're not downing people for trying new things over here, Ferris. That's not what we do.
He's creative, all right? Don't hate on him because he's creative. Want to hear about Rogers' rant? I saw people tweeting about it. I
I
didn't
heard
see
he
what
went on a rant. I didn't actually hear it.
I heard he said he wanted to be a Packers for life. That was a quote that I saw floating around. But,
well, he does now, right? Until next year, until the offseason. I did see Buffalo signal boosting Cole Beasley again for no apparent reason.
What did they say?
They were posting on their official Twitter account this long rant that he was going on in the press conference about how information is being withheld. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of what he's like. I'm not pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine. I'm pro-choice, and information is being withheld, and I want all the information, But they were putting that on their official, their team Twitter account with over 1 million followers. I'm like, nobody needs to listen to Cole Beasley. No one.
Right. Well, okay, you're pro-choice. You have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You have a choice, and he's just barking. I'm gonna tell you guys something. All these players are just barking. All of them. Cole Beasley, my man DeAndre Hopkins, and I love Hopkins, right? No disrespect to you, my man. But all these players that are out there talking, you're just talking. You're going to show up to work because this isn't going to be the thing that you decide to grow a backbone for, all right? And not talking about you guys individually, but as a collective, because the NFLPA is the weakest players association. Cole Beasley sound like a complete moron. Yeah. What's going on, Deshaun? They're the weakest union in all sports, and you lay down for everything. I mean, the league just a few months ago said, you know what? We are going to add an extra game. You guys are going to play an extra game, and we're not giving you any more money for it. You guys said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're playing for free. You're playing an extra game for free, and you didn't lay down for that. But this, you're gonna put your foot down on? No, you're not. I'll see you at practice.
And it's blowing up because everybody's covering the players who are publicly saying they're not going to do it. Mm-hmm. But league wide, the vaccination rate is over 80%. Right. So it is it's the minority, except it's still the minority, but not quite as severe there in Washington, where the vaccination rate is, I believe, just over 60%, despite Ron Rivera being more vulnerable than a lot of other people, having completed cancer treatment last year. He has a compromised immune system.
You want to transition to that?
Yeah, we thought of that real quick.
Let's talk about it. How many of you guys have heard about this story with Ron Rivera? Okay, let's talk about Ron Rivera first and his frustrations with the Washington football team.
One second, we got Jonathan. I understand both sides, but I think getting the vaccine is the best route to go. All Lamar talks about is winning a Super Bowl. If he wants to give himself the best chance, it's going to take some sacrifice. And Jonathan, that is kind of my thing as well. Like, I think people need to get it just to protect themselves and protect other people. But even if you're not on board with that, even if you say I don't trust it or whatever, football is about winning, right? Everybody says it's a results-oriented business, and they care so much about winning. They'll do anything to stay on the field and win, except this.
Well, yeah, because let's take vaccine out of it and swap it with painkillers, mm-hmm. right? Shoot them up with some numbing medicine. We all know they do it. Everybody knows that's what you do. If a player said, "Look, I don't want to take any of that stuff because it's just worse on the body long term and it's addictive," we all say, "Yeah, I understand that." But that player keeps getting hurt, like our man Campanero. Shout out to mm-hmm. Campanero. I would say, he had excellent football skills. He just didn't have a football body. He was always hurt. And we loved mm-hmm. him, but he just couldn't stay on the field. And eventually, what do we all say? We all come to that same understanding. Love you, man, but you're not available. You can't play.
You gotta go.
You gotta go. You gotta go. It's the same thing here. All right, you don't want to get the vaccine. You don't want. It's not just about the vaccine, by the way, guys. They also don't want to wear the mask. They also don't want to stay in the house.
Cole Beasley was wearing his mask improperly at his press conference rant.
Yeah, doing it on purpose, and and he's being funny about it until he gets sick, and until he infects somebody else. Because I'm gonna tell you about Cole Beasley. If Cole Beasley ends up causing an outbreak there, he's through. Mm-hmm. He's through. He's already at that point where he's declining. he's not really worth the headache,
No.
right? He's replaceable, and if you cause an outbreak, that rep follows you because now you have your own teammates don't want to play with you. They're telling other players around the league, you don't want to play with this guy, And once that happens, and you're just an average at best player, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So, but yeah,
like Brodny said, measly Beasley.
Measly. I love living legends quotes, man.
Roger Dodger, everybody acting like Cole Beasley is Megatron. DeAndre isn't Jerry Rice. Get back in line. Okay.
I love DeAndre Hopkins, man. DeAndre Hopkins to me is the best wide receiver in the league, but I don't care who you are. I'm even Lamar. Lamar can get it too. Like, let's just be real, man. Like Lamar, you letting your teammates down, man. You let your team down with this, right? I don't think you thought you were being as safe as possible. I just think you thought you didn't think you could get it again.
Yeah. But so back to Rivera and TJ Ward. TJ Ward went on Twitter and basically he said it was maybe time to park the riverboat because Ron had said he's very frustrated because he's brought in a lot of doctors, a lot of scientists to talk to the team about the vaccine, and they have the lowest vaccination rate in the league. So he said he's very frustrated, obviously, because, like we mentioned, he is immunocompromised, right? And TJ Ward said, maybe it's time to park the riverboat and don't blame players for your lifelong health decisions. He then went on to say, that's not what I meant. But I mean, he didn't clarify what he meant.
That is what you meant.
Yeah, you just blame Ron Rivera for having cancer.
Yeah, that's what it is. He tried to say, hey, take responsibility for the choices you made. And then Twitter, got at him. And then he tried to play victim. Oh, well, that's not what I meant. And I know people that have had cancer or some nonsense like that. He tried to, he tried to do the whole, well, actually, I'm a victim here, right? You guys are attacking me. But take responsibility. You said the words. Take responsibility for what you said. And in this totally unwarranted, unprovoked. Nobody asked you your opinion. You don't play for that team. I don't think he ever played.
You don't play for any team.
Right? Yeah, you don't play. Yeah, you don't play for any team. I don't think he's ever played for Ron Rivera. So why are you talking?
Right.
You're commenting on something you don't know anything about. You're putting yourself out there. Ron Rivera should be pissed. He should be pissed. And like I was telling B earlier, that whole front office should just made it a rule. Nobody comes into a facility unless they're vaccinated.
Yeah.
I don't care because nobody on that team other than Chase Young is worth is really worth the headache, right? I won't say they're not worth anything, but they're not worth the headache. Like there's nobody.
The league should have made it a rule. It should have been mandated by the league that you have to have the vaccine or you're just not coming in. And I know that the league is not. They're not installing their protocols and everything out of fears for players' safety. I mean, that's not why they're doing it. They're doing it to protect their money because they don't want to have games being rescheduled every other week. They don't want to have stars sitting out because of COVID. But so if that's what you want, then make it a mandate for everyone. Yeah. And if players don't want it, they don't have to play. Like you don't have a right to play in the NFL.
No,
you don't have a right to coach in the NFL.
And honestly, if I'm the owner, well, I mean, y'all know Snyder, he's a slime ball. But if I'm running that team, whether the league mandated it or not, I'm saying we have a person that's at high risk for infection here. His immune system is compromised, and we're just not going to allow it. We're just not going to allow it. That's just going to be our rule. And you're gonna have to fight us on it. The NFLPA is gonna have to fight us on it, but you're gonna have to get that vaccine. We're not cutting you. We're not saying you're gonna get cut, but we're saying you can't come to the facility. Now, if you can't come to the facility and you can't practice, we evaluate the people that are here. Mm-hmm. And you know what will happen? You will have a 99% vaccination rate because most of those players aren't good enough to say, I'm just gonna sit it out. Yeah. Right. Most of those players, there's some of these teams around here, like the Lions, that you look at that roster and you say, oh yeah, all you guys are going to get your vaccination or you're not gonna come in here. They'll all get them shots. Yeah.
What's up, Adit? Thanks for coming through. He said Washington has the lowest vaccination rate and the Nationals now have an outbreak with multiple players and coaches testing positive. What's going on in DC? Also, the Nationals and Wizards had previous outbreaks. Yeah, I saw that the Nationals just had another, I believe it was 12 people test positive today.
What's going on in DC?
Not great.
Freedom.
Yeah.
There's your freedom. You're welcome. All right, what are we looking at? Attitude Pop, what's going on? Please, Lamar, if we win the Super Bowl, don't change your number. Please tell Lamar when y'all go to open practice. Well, we're not going to open practice, so we won't tell him. What's wrong with changes his number? Like, he wanted number 1 to begin with. His mom talked him into keeping number 8, but he wants to retire both numbers. He wants to retire number 8.
Attitude got a jersey, and he ain't trying to get another one.
You know what? I feel your pain on that. You know what should happen? If he changes his number, you should get some sort of rebate or something if you get a new jersey.
Yeah. Do a little jersey swap or something like that.
Yeah. Just Allo says 187.2 million people have gotten the vaccine in U.S. Only 3 deaths linked to the vaccine. But now that doctor know who to treat COVID-19 clots, right, they expected no more deaths. Yeah. Nothing's 100%. Right. Nothing's 100%. People are going to have bad reactions and everything. You got to take it on a case-by-case basis. And I understand if you have concerns. Like I said, I understand if you're just skeptical, or you just have concerns about taking shots and all that stuff. I get all that. But you have to take the other precautions, right? Like, let's be real. Let's be real with Lamar. We seen you all off season, man, without your mask. You're doing a kids camp without your mask. You know,
and he wasn't taking it seriously last season either.
No,
in the middle of the worst part of it, he went down to Florida and was just out hanging out with random people just outside of the park.
And I gotta be fair. Because I called out Sam Darnold. I've been calling out Sam Darnold today. I think it's today or sometime this week. He got his he's fully vaccinated now. He got a second COVID shot. They said
he has a second shot. He's not fully vaccinated until Friday. It takes 2 weeks, after your shots. But he does have both shots. So great job, Sam.
Yeah. You should have done it sooner, though. Whatever. What's going on, Engraven? Appreciate you coming through. Shout out to Engraven Viz. And guys, every Wednesday, Engraven puts out a audio podcast. Guys, an audio podcast. Okay, don't go to his channel looking for the podcast. It's another channel. Team Keep It Clean. Okay, subscribe to that. That's on YouTube, right? If you listen to your podcast on YouTube, but Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. It's an awesome podcast, man. I was listening to the one today, Engraven, man. It had me cracking up. Engraven, your neighbor, one of these days is going to listen to that podcast and be like, "Oh man, he's talking about me." He gonna be sitting there smiling. Then when he hears about the name, he's like, "Oh, that's me."
So I wonder if Cole Beasley will have that same bass in his voice when he cost the 4-string DT his game check, or even worse when he cost the Bills a playoff game. Listen, I'll say this: vaccine or not, I don't know that Cole Beasley's going to be playing a whole lot by the time they get to the playoffs.
I think he might get cut anyway. Honestly, I think that's why they let him talk. Like, man, go ahead, go say what you want, man. We getting ready to review anyway. Yeah. And Graven says he hopes they do. He can't stand up.
Man, that's the first time I heard Graven say a negative thing about anybody, man. What's going on?
I feel his pain, man. You guys got to check it out. You got to check it out. Me and Graven, we live parallel lives, man. Like, some of the things you say, I'm like, man, that's me all the way. That's me all the way. Like, yeah, I can tell you stories about my neighbor. She I know she won't listen. I don't care. But check out the podcast. Listen, comment, all that stuff. Subscribe. All right. Yeah.
See, we were talking about Rivera and TJ Ward. To sum up that story, shut up, TJ Ward.
Yeah. I was gonna say, did you want to get into some training camp?
Sure. Yeah, we get into training camp. Baltimore, obviously, Lamar was not present, so McSorley and Huntley got all the reps. And from what we heard, Trace McSorley looked pretty good. He had a nice day. I saw one commenter saying that Huntley has the best deep ball on the team. Not sure if that's true, but that's great for him.
Yeah, they said they both had their moments. Judge Rabick said they both had their moments, looking good. So And you know what? That doesn't surprise me. They both had some experience, game time experience. Miss Orley, I mean, he looks good in preseason and limited playing time. Like these two, I think we have two quality backup quarterbacks.
I'll disagree there, but that's fine. They both had good days. I don't think
Wow.
Miss Orley's quality. I don't. But
I
outside of that, Garnett's guy Chris Westry said he had a couple moments today. Also had a pass interference, but it's all a learning process. Bradley Bozeman apparently has not been able to shake the demons of the center position from last season. He botched a couple snaps in today's practice.
I got to stop right there because this is very important that we read this. Jose was right. That's right. That's right. What am I right about? Oh, okay. Sean Wade got cooked a lot today. Yes, he did. He didn't have a great day today. Guys, do you want me to say it? I know it's only day one. Do I have to say it? Sean Wade ain't gonna make the team. It's only day one. But look, even if he had a good camp, it's gonna be hard. It's just too many DBs out there, too many corners. So I don't know.
Mr. J says, I believe Hollywood and Bateman can be a nice 1-2 at wide receiver if the Ravens air it out more. Yeah, I agree. And especially if you throw in Watkins and he stays healthy. They've got the makings of a nice pass offense there.
So Hollywood sounded like he was tearing it up today. He was just cooking everybody. It wasn't just, to be honest, it wasn't just Wade. He was cooking everybody. And Sammy Watkins said, Zrebic said Sammy Watkins had the most catches on the day. He got targeted the most. Hands look good. But we know this about Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins has everything that you need to be a star wide receiver.
That makes sense. He's the most talented wide receiver on the team.
He is. So
it's just a matter of that translates to production.
But all in all, pretty good day of camp. John Harbaugh was very happy with it. He said there's very few mistakes. You mentioned Bradley Bozeman. Bradley Bozeman was not one of the good things about today. Two snaps went over the quarterback's head. He got frustrated, slammed his gloves down on the ground or something like that. You should be frustrated.
Garnett says we should have drafted a center over wireless, meaning Tylan Wallace. No, they should have gone after a center they know can play.
Yes.
That's what they should have done.
Yeah. And there was one, who was that guy that came from, was it Hudson from the Raiders?
Yeah.
He was right there for the taking.
Well, I mean, him and I can't remember his name now. The guy who came out of Corey Linsley. They could have gone after him in free agency, but they just chose not to. They wanted to go the cheaper route.
But all in all, good first day of practice considering the news. Jonathan Washington says the fact that we've had problems at center for years now, and in 4 seasons, this is the first look Bozeman has had at center is worrisome. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It's also a reason he was available in the 6th round. Yeah, he played center in college, and he got the look to play center when he got drafted. He wasn't good enough there, so they put him at guard. I told you guys, man, I just there's too many questions on this O-line for me to say we're set. Now, it's only day one. He could turn it around and have a great camp. It could be just first day jitters or whatever. But it is a concern. He hasn't shown that he can play at a high level at center. By the way, Villanueva got beat too. You know who he got beat by today?
Was it Sack Daddy?
By Sack Daddy. That's right. He got beat by Sack Daddy. Now, you're not allowed to hit the quarterback, but they said he beat him on an inside move and knocked Villanueva back into the quarterback.
Jalen is going to be set if he can play Baltimore every week.
Well, he can play Cincinnati twice a week. Twice a year. Yeah. So look, Jalen Ferguson, Jay Ferg, Sack Daddy. That's right, tough puppy.
Stop trying to make it a thing. It's not going to happen. It's not. That's
right, tough puppy, Sack Daddy. Okay, it's not going to be a thing. Be on the lookout. But Villanueva was the other concern, obviously. Right, he's not great.
Yeah, they have big question marks at left guard, center, and right tackle.
Yes. Could they all work out? Yes, they could all work out. They could. And historically, the O-line as a unit, we play well. But there are some legit concerns here, so we got to see how this all plays out. That first preseason game is going to be
well, and honestly, I mean, there are some questions at left tackle as well, just with how he comes back from the injury. I mean, obviously, we all know that Ronnie Stanley is one of the best tackles in the league, but he is coming off a major injury.
Yeah. Whoa, tough puppy. Slow down there. Okay. This is not true. They don't even play the same position. Okay. They don't even play the same position.
It doesn't matter. No.
So we don't even need. No.
We can say very confidently.
We don't need
that is not true.
No. We don't need to make any comparisons. They don't play the same position. Yeah. All right. Sack Daddy is he's just going into his own. Okay. He's taking baby steps into becoming a great edge rusher.
I've been taking baby steps for his entire life. That's why he can't change direction.
Well, he did today.
Yeah. So.
Also. Brandon Stevens, I heard he got beat on a play too. He got beat by well, he didn't get beat for a touchdown, but it was a catch from Oliver, the tight end Oliver. He said he had a nice catch over Stevens, and that's one of those things. He was right there. It's just he made a good play on it. So
right,
good job for both. Like sometimes you get, sometimes the your guy makes the play, but you did everything you were supposed to do. So it was still a good play.
Yeah, I mean that's similar to what happened with J.C. Horn in Panthers practice. He got beat for a reception by a 8th string receiver, but I mean he was right there. The guy made a good play. He made a good catch. Right?
Are you ready to transition over to the Panthers? You want to talk?
I thought I already did. So, well, there's not a whole lot to talk in Carolina right now.
Okay, we'll talk some Carolina. Look, we know the crowd here. We know what you guys are here for. All right.
Yeah, Panthers talk.
But we got some Panthers guys in here. If you want a full breakdown of the Panthers camp, go to Panthers Nation podcast. My man Rashad was out there the whole day. He filmed the whole thing. And if you sign to his Patreon, well, him and David, there's two of them, right? Rashad and David. You sign to the Patreon, they got some extra footage of every snap Sam Darnold took today. If you want to know what Sam Darnold looked like, he got it all out there.
That's what I'm talking about, Garnett.
Yeah, okay. See, he likes Carolina talk. Sam Darnold, all in all, and I watched him the stream. He looked solid. He had one pass that should have gotten picked off, I believe, but it got dropped. But other than that, pretty solid day. Terrace Marshall, not a good day.
And I'm not gonna say I told you so, even though I told you so. It's day one.
It's day one.
Right? It's day one. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously the biggest concern in Carolina by far is the O-line, and you're not really going to get any kind of definitive answers there for a while.
Yeah.
They were just, I don't want to say they were going half speed, but they were just kind of, it was a getting up to speed day.
Yeah, they did. Rashad did point something out at the end of the stream. He didn't think that they practiced any red zone drills.
That's all right.
Hashtag Teddy was right. Teddy Bridgewater was right.
Well, listen, we talked about it, right? Like, Teddy Bridgewater has a great professional reputation. I mean, obviously, we say all the time, you don't know these guys. He seems great and everything, right? But we don't know him. But he's got a great professional reputation. And so, if Teddy said you don't know what you're doing, Teddy's right until proven otherwise.
I thought that was funny because somebody put it in the chat. It was like, "Hey, did they do any red zone drills today?" And Rashad started cracking up. He's like, "No, I don't think they did." And I was like, "Oh, this is what Teddy was talking about." Oh, yeah, I don't know, man. Like he said, red zone. Teddy criticized the red zone drills and the 2-minute drill, right?
Yep.
And the 2-minute drill makes sense because he's coming from college. They don't have 2-minute warning in college.
Yeah. Derek Brown physically looking good. Hope he breaks out. Yeah, I mean, look, I thought he was pretty good last year. I mean, I expect him to be a high level player for a long time. I just thought he was the wrong pick at 8. Oh, and was he at 8? 7 or 8?
Yeah. Oh man, Sterling's in the house. Shout out to whoever, I guess. Shout out to you, Sterling. Appreciate you coming through, man. Sterling's my guy, man. I work with Sterling, man. He's awesome. He's awesome. Did B trim his beard? This is a good question, Sterling. B, did you get a little haircut there?
I did indeed.
Where'd you get that?
Thank you for noticing.
Where'd you go to get the haircut?
I went that way, right there.
Right here. Oh, okay. All I did a pretty good job there. Nice. Garnett says Panthers head coach straight clueless. Oh, gluteus maximus. Oh, gluteus.
Wow.
Oh, wow. No. He's not bad. He's not bad.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, right? Like, and this is we had a long conversation with Garnett last week about Sam Darnold and his outlook, and he was saying that a better organization, different coach, all this stuff, better environment, and he'll be better. My thing with Matt Rule and Joe Brady is they handpicked their quarterback last year, and it went terribly. And that was a quarterback who's better than Sam Darnold. Rule came out today and said that he doesn't want Sam Darnold to be a leader, not to worry about being a leader. Just wants him to work hard, be the first one there and the last one gone, and just do what he needs to do. And, because they have other leaders. They got McCaffrey and, some other guys there. And that's fine. But from what I've heard of Sam Darnold, that's how he is. He's a hard worker. He was a hard worker in New York.
Yeah.
It didn't show up.
Yeah. Yeah. Tough puppy. Come on, what's going on here? Let me tell you. Let me tell you guys something. Okay, let me tell you how great Aaron Donald is.
Thank you, Tanja.
Thank you, Tanja. I did a good job. Thank you.
She'll talk to you.
Let me tell you how great of a player Aaron Donald is. If the Rams said we will give you Aaron Donald for everybody on your D line, all right, we got to take Calais Campbell, Brandon Williams, Tyus Bowser, Sack Daddy, Pernell McPhee. You got to take the whole line, and you just got to get whoever off the street. The Ravens organization would say, "That's it. That's all you want."
Yep.
Here you go.
Jason, thank you for coming through, man. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you. So yeah, okay.
Not a whole lot to take away from Carolina. The lines. I saw Raven Rod asking about Brian Burns. You're not really going to get a whole lot out of these types of practices. They're not allowed to hit the quarterback. They're not really going full speed yet. They just got there. They're working up to it. Don't worry about Brian Burns. He is going to be a monster this year. Yeah. The question again is, what is Carolina going to do on their O-line outside of right tackle?
Yeah, I think if they had a better O-line, if they showed up the O-line, I would feel better about Sam Darnold. I would say, okay, we still got to see, but I would feel a little bit better about the situation. But Sam Darnold, he hasn't shown a lot in his career so far.
Oh, he's shown a lot, just none of it positive. None of it has been positive. And now, and look, you put him in a terrible position in Carolina. I know that he needed to change the scenery because the Jets didn't want him anymore, but you put him in a spot where you didn't improve the O-line. You didn't do everything that you could do to improve the O-line. Yeah. And then you passed on Justin Fields at number 8. So now, no matter what, he's going to be compared to Justin Fields every single week. And if and when Justin Fields outplays him, you're going to have an extremely upset fan base.
And when B says he's going to be compared to Justin Fields every week, he means right here on the show.
I mean, everywhere. I mean, you didn't get Justin Fields, and you passed on a left tackle for him, so you're not even worried about protecting him.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're setting him up to fail.
I wish him well. That's all I can say. I wish him well.
And I sort of do.
What's Pop saying? If Lamar don't have COVID and his cover up to finish his contract,
it's not.
They wouldn't need a cover up. He just wouldn't be out there. Yeah. Derek says the locker room is a mess. It's calm. It's calm season now, but what happens is okay. I don't know. You think it's a mess? Is the locker room a mess?
I wouldn't. I mean, every locker room that's losing is a mess, right? I mean, they won 5 games last year. You come back, if you start out losing again, it's not going to be pretty. I mean, I'm sure there are people in that locker room who believed in Teddy and wanted Teddy back. And if Sam Darnold comes in and plays like Sam Darnold, it's probably not going to be great.
Derek is right, because you have a few people. I mean, contracts coming up, right? They're trying to get paid. And if things aren't going well, I mean, you got DJ Moore who needs to get paid. You got Robbie Anderson. I think he only signed like a 3-year deal, right? And they're talking about
Anderson's actually he's up for contract after this season. They've been talking about that a little bit. He doesn't want to talk publicly about an extension. He said he believes that they'll get it worked out. But yeah, they're not talking publicly about it. But he's a free agent this year. Yeah. Along with, DJ Moore's not a free agent, but they can actually start negotiating his extension this season.
Dante Jackson is a free agent.
Man.
Right? So, I mean, yeah. I think you have a few guys on this team that are very motivated this year to perform. And, yeah, man, I think they want to show out. So you take some L's early on, it could leave a sour taste in their mouth throughout the season.
Jason wants to know if I'm always in a freezing cold basement or attic because you've been wearing a hat and hoodie for months. Listen, Jason, I'm not in a freezing cold basement or attic. I am in incredibly comfortable and stylish LBHT gear. All right?
Yeah.
You need to get you some.
Listen. If you feel too hot with that, right? If that's making you feel hot, okay? I got some stuff right here. Okay, I actually had it in my lap because I had it on the.
You're not talking into your microphone, so you know.
Okay. There you go. Get some merch. We haven't done our usual plug,
right?
But I'll go ahead and show you right there. If you want some merch, lbhtshow.com/shop. We got tanks, we got tees, we got shorts. Okay, we got everything. We got mugs. All right, check it out. Check out the store, and if there's something that you like, make a purchase, man. It helps out the show.
Yeah.
All right. And while you're at it, right above me there, patreon.com/LBHT show. And right above B, that's our Cash App, LBHT show.
As well as Venmo, LBHT show. And if you look in the chat, I believe, did you pin the link? We got Streamlabs up if you prefer to donate that way.
Yeah, so if anybody that's new here, first of all, if you're new here, thank you for coming through. Please hit that subscribe button as we are making our journey to 1,000. What? We are getting there. We are slowly getting to 1,000 subs, man. We appreciate everybody that's hung out with us, especially through the off season, because we don't talk whole lot of football in the off season, but you guys have toughed it out with us. But yes, hit the that link. That's what we use for our super chat. We're not super chat enabled, and even when we become enabled, we're probably not going to use super chat. So you go to that, hit that link. That's for Streamlabs, and what we're going to have set up here pretty soon is you make a donation, leave a comment, and you'll see your comment pop up on the screen. Right? That's better for us, and it's better for you. Right? Full disclosure. We don't want to use super chats because YouTube just takes way too much of the money that you're giving to us. And also, the bigger we get, the more people are making comments, and you might throw a super chat in there, and we just may not get to it in time. It disappears. You throw it on Streamlabs, it never disappears. Okay. Yep. Same thing with a Cash App. You want to leave a comment in the Cash App, it's always going to be there. So it doesn't matter how long we're talking for, how long we take to get to it. It's always going to be there, and we're always going to read it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you guys. All right. Any guest in mind? What are you talking about, Garnett? What guest? We don't have any guests. We need to get some guests. We do have a lot of guests in mind. We need to get Engraven on the show. We need to get Simply and keeping it real.
Yeah, Sutton and Alex.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, like we're bad friends, man. These guys have had us on their shows. Like that's just what it is. Like, let's just be real about it. We are bad friends. They invite us on. We come on there. They give us shout outs. They help us grow our channel, and then we're just lazy. Goodness, we're lazy.
Wow. Jose doing some classic speaking for himself right now.
You know what? It's a little early, but we're gonna hit the bonus time. We're going to hit the bonus time, and we're just going to hang out here for a few, and then we're going to go.
Before we didn't mention in detail the Patreon, because we did reorganize the tiers recently. Okay. We got 2 tiers. We have the $3 tier, which will get you access to our weekly overtime show. You've heard us talk about that a lot. It's a lot of fun. We go in there and we just talk about whatever. And also entrance into our NFL Survivor pool. If you don't know what that is, you make a pick every week, and if your team wins, you advance on to the next week. If they lose, you're out, and whoever is the last person standing wins. You're going to win a trophy for that. For the $10 tier, we have a couple of these Founders coins left.
Yeah, I don't have mine. I left mine at B's house. I left it over there. I gotta explain. Okay, let me explain. We did a weekend show. That's another perk for being a Patreon. We do a weekend show. It's kind of a pop-up show. We don't really have a set time, but we did a weekend show, and I was at his house, and I set up over there, and I wanted to flash a coin. I left it there.
Yeah. So hopefully you all take better care of them than Jose takes care of his. Garnet says he's got his. Appreciate that.
Nice.
Also in the $10 tier, you're going to get entrance into our yearly fantasy football league. The league set up right now. We've got it's more than half full at this point. We're still waiting for a couple people to get in there and sign up. We're going to be giving out a custom championship belt from Undisputed Belts to the winner of that league. We're going to make that a yearly thing. We also allow on-screen invites for the overtime show to the $10 tier. You get entrance into our Discord channel. We do members only streams, generally on the weekends. They're not exactly timed. They'll kind of pop up.
Yeah.
But yeah, and obviously everything you get on the $3 tier, as well as the ability to request specific videos or articles on content that you want to see, on topics that you want to see.
Yeah, yeah. And let me also add for the fantasy football people in here, if you guys like fantasy football, I'm telling you, we mention it. We've been mentioning it for weeks, and I know it just sounds like, okay, fantasy football league, it sounds like fun. You're going to want to be a part of this league. The winner is getting a championship belt, and that championship belt is going to look nice. It's going to look nice. Once we have it ordered and it's here, we'll probably, kind of display it throughout the season so you guys can see what it is.
I don't know why we would do that, Derek. You're not going to win.
Yeah. That belt is it's not a cheap belt. It's a nice belt. Okay.
That's right, Mr. J.
Can't wait to play. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys sign up. If we get a surge of people sign up, maybe we'll start up another league. But that's gonna have to happen before the season starts.
Yeah.
So sign up, tell your friends. All right. Bonus time. You ready for bonus time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here we go. All right, guys. This is the part of the show where you just put whatever you want in the chat, and we will talk about it. Your mama's house is going to win. Whose name is your mama's house?
It's Garnet.
It's Garnet? Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm still thinking of my name. That's why I haven't set my team up yet. I'm on the page right now to put in my name. I haven't thought of a name yet.
We send in a link for. Are you talking about for the fantasy league? If you're talking about the football league, it should be pinned on Patreon.
Yeah.
And I believe I posted it in the Discord as well.
Yeah. So just hit us up if you're having problems getting to it. Just let us know. All right. Will Kyle Pitts have a better year than Darren Waller?
That's tough.
No,
that's real tough.
So
I'm going to say no to that as well.
Here's my thing. Darren Waller he's at the upper echelon of tight ends, right? It is hard for me to predict any rookie to be that good, right? He's projected to be a great tight end, sure, but
listen to your friend Garnet.
You guys need to subscribe for yes.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, subscribe for bonus time. Yeah, it gets lit. Yeah, it does, man. Look, bonus. Well, he's talking about overtime. Bonus time is right now. This is bonus time.
Yeah.
Overtime, we talk about whatever you want to talk about. This, we try to give you guys bonus time as a little taste for what we do in overtime, but it doesn't really compare to what we talk about in overtime. Overtime gets a little juicy, and it goes way too long, man. Like, I only plan for it to be like an hour or so. Man, we've been doing like 2 or 3 hour overtime shows. So we'll see how it goes tonight. I just want to shout out some local eateries that Jose and I will hit tomorrow. He was talking to me, and I couldn't stop stuffing my face. Yeah, tomorrow. You want to go tomorrow? I was going to wait until Friday, just when we get paid. But we'll figure it out. I can't think of a rookie tight end who's had a good first season.
Yeah, no, it's one of the tougher positions to come in and just play really well. So I would expect Kyle Pitts to have a good season, but no, I wouldn't expect him to outdo Mark Andrews.
Yeah, and shout out to Spirit of Justice, man. Thank you for coming through. He says Olympics. You want to talk some Olympics? Okay.
Yes. What about the Olympics would you like to talk about?
Do you want to talk about the gymnast who said, "Hey, peace out, I'm done"? You want to talk about
the
that?
Gymnast, the greatest gymnast of all time, Simone Biles? Is that
Yes.
who you're talking
Yes.
about? Okay.
Yes. Yes. Her name escaped me for a second.
the
Yes.
gymnast.
Shout out to Simone Biles. Look, Simone, she doesn't have anything to prove at this point. She's like you said, she's the greatest of all time. It's not in dispute. And Dan Le Batard made a good point. I was listening to him talk about it yesterday. She has, it's hard to get yourself up for like the training you have to put in to compete for the Olympics. It's already hard enough. But to train and get ready to go to the Olympics and then have it pushed back a whole year and you have to get yourself up for it again the following year, it's taxing, right? And she's older for a gymnast. She's older. Yeah. She's still super young, but she's older for a gymnast. And, it's a lot of work. And she said that, like she's always in, her body's always in pain, and it might be at the point where she looked at it and said, yeah, okay, I came here, but, I don't really.
It's putting you in your place.
Oh, man. Coming from the man who can't remember who's dead or alive. I'm not taking that. Wow. I'm not taking any disrespect from you, Ferris.
If you want to see Ferris disrespect dead people, sign up for Patreon and join the Overtime Show. Spirit of Justice wants to talk about the U.S. losing to France. I think that there's a couple things there. Look, everybody else in the world is much better at basketball than they were when we were young. It's a global game. All those teams that you're seeing in the Olympics, they all have NBA talent on them. And I think that the Olympics just doesn't matter as much to the U.S. in basketball. Like the players don't care as much.
Who were the last three league MVPs? Today,
Jokic,
this year, Jokic,
Giannis, and Giannis. Right? Yeah.
I mean, some of your top NBA players aren't American, man. Like the game has expanded worldwide. I mean, these guys are no joke.
Yeah, and next year's MVP is going to be Luka.
Could be.
He's got a good shot at it. And I'm not saying that they don't care as an excuse for them losing. I mean, they're getting beat because another big part of it is that they're not really a team, and a lot of people have mentioned this. They don't play team ball as well. You just kind of go down the list and pick whoever and just hope that some of the top guys will say yes, and you just throw them together and expect them to out-talent everyone. And it doesn't work like that. They play by different rules in the Olympics than they do in the NBA. The game is not called the same way. They can't flop their way to the free throw line and whatnot, which, it shouldn't cause them to lose, but they're just not used to playing that way. They're kind of in that groove of, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get this call, and then it doesn't happen, right? And then you're playing against teams who, one, like I said, have a lot more talent, and two, have been playing together.
And honestly, I'm gonna be real. I just don't think we care as much.
Yeah,
I just don't think that gold medal means as much as it used to. Honestly, I don't think it meant that much even to the Dream Team. It's just something different to put on their resume, but
I think it mattered to them because it was a coronation tour for them. I think it was fun, and they went around and everybody got to see them play, and it was great, right?
Yeah.
But that planted the seeds, and now everybody else can play.
Right. Like for them, like you said, it was just it's like the Harlem Globetrotters going on tour, just putting on a show. They get celebrated, and they get a gold medal. And this,
thanks for coming through, Tough.
Oh, thanks, Tough Puppy, man. Appreciate you. But yeah,
what's up, Zeke?
Zeke Hokage, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. All right, but now you have to really play basketball, man. And you got you have like 2 or 3 guys on the team that just finished playing in the NBA Finals. Yeah. After already a short season or a short off season. These guys are tired.
Listen, just LL, I'm not going to say that's false, but I love Giannis, and Giannis can keep his 2 MVPs.
But the point is, it's true. I mean, whether you think it's true or not, the point is, there's a lot of your top players are foreign-born players, right? Like they come from different countries. The NBA is just it's well, basketball is a lot more global now. So
yeah.
you have more talent coming from outside the country, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
Raven Ron's got a question: better crab cake, Jimmy Seafoods, or Papa's out in Parkville? I do not eat seafood, so I'll let Jose take that one.
I'm gonna say Jimmy's. I've had both. Yeah, probably Jimmy's. I mean, I'm not a big seafood guy either, but I do like crab cakes. And Sterling was trying to get me a crab cake the other day. I wasn't in the mood for it.
It's Papa's, but it's close.
It is close. Yes. Yeah. They're both good. Sterling said shots fired.
Technically, Kobe is from another country. Yeah.
Yes.
Technically. Yeah.
That's true.
Okay. Well, you know what? I mean, you say this, right? But this is the second time you spelled his name wrong, and I'm very reluctant to believe you, considering your Tim Duncan takes.
Let's add 2 pops in here. Teddy ain't been the same since Minnesota Vikings when he was going crazy playing like an MVP and putting up MVP type numbers. Then he got hurt. He ain't been the same. That knee injury was definitely damaging.
I love Teddy, but he was never putting up MVP type numbers.
No.
He did come back with New Orleans, and they went 5-0, and he played well. But then he went to the Panthers, and that's not great for anybody.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's a great quarterback, but I don't think he's had the full support of a coaching staff since Minnesota.
No, he hasn't.
Like I've seen worse quarterbacks have more success, and that's just because the coaching staff is behind them.
Yeah. And Minnesota could have had Teddy and Case Keenum, who got them to the conference championship game for less than they paid Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
But to each his own, right?
Mm-hmm. Patrick Ewing is Jamaican. Yep. Yeah, he played. Yes, I know he played for your Knicks. I know. Calm down, relax. All right, we read a couple more comments. So we'll start up the overtime show. All right, if you guys want to be a part of the overtime show, right above
Speaking of, man, Giannis is so cheap. Like, I saw on Twitter he refused to watch Team USA because he had to pay for Peacock.
I understand it. I understand.
Ferris, I know this was true.
But
Jose, you know how Jose is.
But Giannis, if you really want to watch it, hit me up. I might have a link. Right above me, patreon.com/LBHT show. That's where you can find the overtime show, right? We're going to start here in a few minutes. If you have $3 to spend, just hit that up, man. For as little as $3, you can be part of the overtime show. We have a lot of fun. Wow, Ferris. Sheesh, what's going on with you, man? Wow. Okay, I see how it is. All right.
Ooh, Mr. J, where do you think Xavier and Howard will land?
Oh, yeah.
That's a tough one. Yes, presumably they're going to be looking for a first and at least a third or a player. I think he's going to end up with a contender. But he's also going to want a new contract, so that makes that a little more difficult.
That's hard to say. I have no idea.
I'm gonna throw out a guess. I'm going to say that he ends up in New England.
Oh,
because they are going to move Stephon Gilmore.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not necessarily the same deal, but I think Howard ends up in New England.
So we didn't talk about this. I didn't want to talk about it either. The rumors of Chandler Jones and Ravens' interest. It's just rumors, right? But we know Chandler Jones wants to be traded. Okay, Garnett West says Cincinnati. Okay, all right. I can see that Cincinnati could use him. Yeah, but
we're not doing this today, Just Allo.
No.
We are not.
Nope, we're not doing it. Nope. Chandler Jones. Is he coming to Baltimore B?
No.
Okay.
Chandler Jones costs money.
Yes, he costs
Baltimore's
money.
allergic to that.
Yeah. Hey, we don't have it. Chandler Jones, I think, would cost more in cap space than Julio Jones.
Yeah, his cap hit right now, it's a little over 20 million, but his base salary is about the same as Julio's was at 15 and a half. So I mean, obviously, he's another one. If you trade for Chandler Jones, you're giving him a new deal.
Yeah.
So, but you're gonna have to give up a lot and pay him a lot, and Baltimore ain't about that.
Yeah.
Lakers trying to finesse Indiana. Nobody wants Kuz currently. You know what, Jonathan? That's not true. Everybody wants him. All right. But it's just they're taking their time. They're trying to get the best deal. Everybody loves Kuz. Woj said they've offered Kuz and KCP to every team in the league. Like, listen, I know you want to make a big splash. You want to bring in a third guy for LeBron and AD, but man, have some self-respect.
They sit down on the phone, they're discussing possible trades, and then before they hang up, they're like, wait. They're like, don't say it. What about Kuz? KCP. Yes, do it. But yeah, look, if there's any truth to the Ravens trying to get Chandler Jones, my shirt's over there. Hashtag defund the defense. It's gonna break out. All right. Hashtag defund the defense. I will be furious. Okay, not because look, Chandler Jones is an amazing player. Would he help the defense? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But it's not about it's not about who's better, Chandler Jones or Julio Jones. It's about who makes Lamar better, because Lamar is the best player on the team. Yeah. Chandler Jones can't do anything for Lamar. Julio Jones can. So if we get Chandler Jones and we pass up on Julio Jones, that'd be a problem. Yeah. Did we talk about Aaron Rodgers? Not really.
No, but you know what? Props to that's correct. Excuse me. Props to Green Bay for finally waking up and doing the right thing. They gave him a new contract, or they renegotiated their contract. They gave him some concessions. They told him he is he's going to be able to basically decide where he wants to play next year. And they went and they traded for Randall Cobb because Aaron said so. Yeah, and that's what you need to do. You're close to winning. Keep Aaron Rodgers happy.
Yeah. And also they admitted, I saw that the GM admitted that they didn't consult Aaron Rodgers before they drafted Jordan Love. Right. And to me, that tells me they were ready to just oust Aaron Rodgers. They decided he was becoming a headache and he doesn't run the team. We're going to get the quarterback and he can complain, doesn't matter, and we're just going to trade him. And turned out that they weren't getting the offers that they thought they can get for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers says, "Look at me, I'm the captain now." Yeah. I mean, he could have asked for more, to be honest. Give me
but he said, "I'm a reasonable guy." We know it's not true, but he can try that rebrand if he wants.
Look, he just wants to be comfortable, right? Yeah. He has a rapport with Randall Cobb, and honestly, I can't even say that wouldn't work, because Aaron Rodgers, as long as he has the guys he's comfortable with, they know him. Randall Cobb could look a lot better. It's the same thing with James Jones, right? When James Jones went off to, I think it was Oakland, whoever paid him, he looked awful. Came back to Green Bay. he had like 15 touchdowns one year. Yeah. So whatever works for him, whatever makes him happy, that's what you need to do.
Kuzma looking more and more like a TikToker every day. That's rude. Kuzma can play, man. He can play. He's just not gonna net you Bradley Beal or Damian Lillard. They're in a tough spot. Best thing Lakers could possibly do not re-sign Dennis Schroeder. That's not true, man. They need Dennis Schroeder. They offered him a bunch of money already. He said no. They need to keep him. Like, they don't have any way of replacing him, really.
Yeah, who else are you going to go find on the street that's better? Yeah.
No.
TJ McDonald, low key stuff. Okay.
Come on, man. You can't come up in here talking about don't re-sign Dennis and then say, man, we should get TJ McConnell. You can't do that.
Yeah, I said McConnell. Yeah. I like McConnell though.
Look, McConnell is fine. I'm sure he's a great person, and he can sit on somebody's bench. Dennis Schroeder needs to be back in LA.
Yeah. I mean, don't worry about the money, right? You can go over the cap in the NBA to sign your players, and if you can't go on the street and get somebody,
which LA can't because they don't have any money.
It's the same thing in Brooklyn. Dinwiddie wants $25 million per. Easy, done. We can't afford to get anybody else off the street, and it ain't my money. It's Joe Tsai's money. If he wants to spend it, man, yeah, give him the money, and that'd be a great 6-man right there. So I'm for it. Not saying in regards to Dennis Schroeder, though, just saying if Schroeder doesn't lower that price tag or he goes elsewhere and the Lakers can get one of the top. Okay, a plan B is what you're saying.
But here's the thing. Like, he doesn't need to lower the price tag because the price is irrelevant for LA. They're over the cap. They can give him whatever.
Yeah.
And they should. People got on him, but for the playoffs and everything. But like Woj was pointing out, he also was hurt. I mean, in his case, sick. He got COVID right before the playoffs, and he missed 10 games, and he came back, and he just wasn't the same. But Dennis is a very good player, and they need to bring him back. Now, if they can convince DeMar DeRozan to take an exception. I don't know which exceptions they have available to him, but if they can convince DeRozan to take an exception, then all of this is kind of theoretical anyway, because they're set. If they can come back with DeMar DeRozan, LeBron, AD, then they can still re-sign Dennis Schroeder. They don't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
But right now, if I'm LA, unless I can include Schroeder in a sign and trade for somebody like Lillard, I'm planning on bringing him back.
Yeah. All right, so we will leave it there. Oh, okay, we got one more comment.
The Lakers offered either Kuzma or KCP for Buddy Hield.
That owner loves Buddy Hield. He said that's going to be the next Steph Curry. So I think it's going to take more than that to get Buddy Hield. All right.
And Mr. J said we re-sign McLemore and trade for Buddy Hield. That would be nice. Yeah, I wouldn't hate it, but if they can go and get DeMar DeRozan, keep Dennis Schroeder, whatever else they do isn't really a big deal. But we'll see. NBA draft tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. So are we live streaming it tomorrow?
I don't know about all that, but we'll see.
All right. Look, there's a possibility, guys, that we will be here tomorrow. We'll be here. We're not doing the whole first round. We're just going to do maybe like the lottery. We'll play it by ear, but we will be live streaming at least part of the draft tomorrow. So hang out with us if that interests you, and if not, just hang out with us anyway. Okay, let's chop it up and let's see who goes where. All right. What are you reading? I see you reading something, B.
I'm just looking at Ferris and Jonathan here. Owner loves him, but the coach hates Buddy. Luke Walton is an imbecile. Okay. Jonathan said, great show, guys. Appreciate the content. Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And with that, we are out of here. Our patrons, give us a few minutes. We'll set up the overtime show. And if you're not a patron, right above me, patreon.com/LBHT show. That's where you can keep the party going. All right. We'll see the rest of you guys later. Peace out.